welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today and on my channel. I really appreciate you being here and I appreciate you spending even a little portion of your day with me. If you want an update on yesterday, if you watch all my videos, by the way, I'm wearing a Dua Lipa t-shirt today because after I film this video, I am hopping on the train to go to London because I'm going to night 2 of Dua Lipa's concert at London. And I went last night, and if you're aware, I had filmed my video on an all-nighter. I was kind of manic in my video, and I was going on about 30 hours no sleep because jet lag has really just done one on my body for some reason. It never really has in the past. And I was like, yeah, so we'll see if I make it to the concert. And I did. I was queuing there for maybe like 8 hours. I met the nicest people in the queue. We all became friends. And I do want to update you that I did, in fact, get front row to Dua Lipa. So obviously I can't, play the music because her team will probably strike this video. But I got front row for Dua Lipa. She was insane. She was incredible. I can't wait to do it all over again today. It's currently 11 a.m. I'm going to be going there. I'm going to be in the queue again. I'm going with the people I went yesterday who I literally just met spontaneously. Life is beautiful. Just meeting like random strangers and then becoming friends with them. So anyway, it was so great. Also, one thing I do want to note, on my private Twitter, which is at muckers_Adam, at the venue, I had posted this video and I said, a normal YouTube video I post has more muckers than people in this arena right now because it was the O2 Arena, which I think has like 19,000 people. And I was like, there are normally like 20,000 muckers watch these videos, like normally on like a normal scale of things. So there are more muckers than there are people in this sold out arena, which was so insane. And it made me like, first of all, do one whenever I was so like tired and freaking out over that because it was just so insane. And it really is so like important, and I really do make such a thing with my videos to always be like, numbers are people. And that's what I care about first and foremost, which is why I spend most of my time responding to comments and stuff like that. I'm not here to push out videos and be like a robot machine and be like, this is this analytic, this is this. I really do value and care that you choose to watch these videos. So whenever I saw that, it even just further did it. And it made me laugh because I was like, this is the equivalent of me being on that stage, sitting down on my chair, my computer behind me, and just all of the muckers in the audience. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you a lot last night, and I met a couple of you at the show actually, which was so exciting because I never meet people like in the UK who are subscribed to me. It's always America. So just thank you. And anyway, we'll get on with the video, but I do just want to let you know that I was thinking about you all last night, and it just was like making my heart flutter, and I was like, thank you for supporting me, because you can support anyone, and I'm grateful that you're here. But anyway, we're gonna be talking about Shane Dawson today. Now, I am so obsessed. I have found the Shane Dawson Reddit. Now, we are so used to the Trisha Paytas Reddit that no one really talks about the Shane Dawson one. It is so interesting, and the posts on there are so great, and there's like really great conversations that happen on there. For example, a couple days ago I did a video that was talking about Shane and Jeffree and like the benefits, pros and cons of them two liking each other publicly and their relationship together. And if you don't know or haven't watched that video, I would recommend it. I think it's called like Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star Exposed or something. I had so much fun filming it. I did my makeup while doing it, and a lot of you really enjoyed that one. I was happy to see that. This one is even more interesting to me because I'm gonna read it out to you. So this is posted on the Shane Dawson Reddit page by user I just bought a cactus. Love that for you. I'm amazed. It's actually crazy how powerful Shane Dawson's cancellation was. His views dropped so much. I have never seen such a genuine cancellation before. He literally used to get a minimum of 9 or 10 million views on every single video he posted. Now he can barely crack the 2 million part. Now, if you've been watching my videos constantly, you know what I'm gonna say now. Do you know what I'm saying? Shane has changed the title and thumbnail of his recent video, which is not even posted more than 2 weeks ago, 13 days ago. He has changed his title and thumbnail of this video for a 5th time. Now, if you're like, oh, what does that mean? Maybe he just changed his mind. I will briefly explain it again. Shane Dawson, whenever he was coming up on YouTube, used to upload a video and then change the title and thumbnail of it multiple times a week so that people would get recommended the video thinking they hadn't watched it because it's a completely different title and thumbnail. Normally the titles and thumbnails were not anything that was about the video, it was just complete clickbait, which is ironic because he came for drama channels and journalists for that. So he has reverted back to those ways, and he's talked about, you know, that was during a desperate time when he was trying to, you know, be seen on YouTube. And I guess we're back to that now. So I think this is so great to put on the video while we're talking about was Shane affected by the cancellation. I think completely. I don't think how you can say not. So yes, we have it. And by the way, our wedding video now has this thumbnail, which I think just goes to show how much he really values that relationship with Ryland and takes it so seriously. Now, one thing I do want to say, I've always said it, I do not believe cancel culture is a thing. I believe accountability culture is a thing. I don't think cancel culture, you ask someone to give you an example of cancel culture and they scramble and they maybe say Ellen. It's always the case. Hollywood, YouTube, they have no problem promoting James Charles. Look at Shane Dawson, Jeffrey, look at all these people who are at the top of YouTube. Then look at the people at the top of Hollywood. I saw Ansel Elgort last night at the Met Gala, who has a slew of allegations against him. No one cared to look into them further. This is literally how these systems work, and it's disgusting. So I do not believe that cancel culture works, and the examples that people give will always be when the person steps down. So they're like Ellen, cancel culture. She chose to end her show. And so for Shane, I think he is literally one of the only people that I know that has been affected by cancel culture. And I think the reason for that was, it was not one or two videos of Shane making pedo comments or racist comments or inappropriate comments. No, babe. You remember last summer, Shane Dawson could have documentaries made about him that were, which is ironic because he's the documentary king, about him showing clip after clip after clip. And normally with YouTubers, it doesn't excuse it, but when they get called out for problematic behavior, it's always a bunch of clips from like 2012 or 2011 or something like that. With Shane, there were clips from 2006 up to 2020, which was when the cancellation was happening. So I just think that at that stage, people had had enough. And I think that's the difference with Shane. But I want to know your opinion on that. Because as well, Shane literally a minimum of 20 to 30 million views on his YouTube videos, sometimes reaching up to 60 million views. And now he's scraping 2 million if he's lucky. So anyway, let's go through this and hear what I have to say. It's because of the cancellation, but also his content, in my opinion. If he came back with Andrew, Garrett, Jeffrey, I think he could still pull between 5 to 10 million views. I disagree because Jeffrey has done many collabs with Shane since, where Shane will be in the title and thumbnail. And they don't reach that amount of views. I think people are genuinely just over Shane at this stage, and I mean as they should be. His videos are just impossible to get through now. And I saw so many Shane fans that were in my comments being like, you know, I still like Shane, but damn, these videos are hard to get through because they are 40, maybe 50-minute long videos of him saying what he would like to do within the video, then he never does it. And it's just him and Ryland sitting at their kitchen talking, and not even interestingly. 2017-ish, he was the king of YouTube. He could do no wrong, and it's ironic because he was literally saving people's careers. He was known as that, which is just aged horribly. Was featuring every single day and was popular and more popular with clout every single day. He was talked about by hundreds of channels. It's insane how popular he and Jeffrey were. Now I barely hear about either of them. And the thing is, Jeffrey has Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Shane really has nothing. YouTube really does work in eras. Even the Viner to YouTube era was huge. Now I rarely hear about any of them. Now it's the TikTok stars to YouTube and of course family channels, which boo, family channels, if you support family channels, boo. Jeffree Star gets like 800k on some of his videos, 1 million on his most recent ones. Yikes compared to the ones that usually got 40 to 30 million. Now whenever I looked on Jeffrey's page, Jeffrey was getting 40 to 50 million views on makeup reviews. So Jeffrey was also really popular and has been affected by it, but I just think that Jeffrey has so much disposable income with all these different companies, whereas Shane really doesn't. Andrew and Garrett were the charm of his channel, and a lot of people were saying that. And I also think though, if they were to come back, it would probably be really awkward now because there have been so many videos exposing Shane being inappropriate with Andrew, Shane being inappropriate with Drew, with bullying him, bullying Garrett. And I think a lot more people are tuned into the dynamic of their relationship now, and I think they would be very careful on what jokes they could make. And Shane, oh my god, posted on his Instagram story yesterday that he's coming out with a new podcast, which no doubt will get him another cancellation in approximately 2 fucking years, maybe even a year and a half. And he literally asked the question, he had the audacity to ask the question saying, should I be problematic or not in the podcast, or some bullshit like that. He was like, should I dive deep in and maybe borderline be problematic, or should I be safe and all like this bullshit, and did a poll, like had the audacity to do a poll. Let me actually pull up what the post was, because I don't want to misquote it, because it was actually as deranged as what I'm saying. Oh, shout out, they have me on here, hey. Okay, it says, trying to figure out how much I want to censor the podcast, which means that he still thinks the same way and makes those same jokes behind the scenes. He knows to censor himself. I never want to offend anyone, but I also don't want to censor too much. Just don't make fucking jokes about children. Sometimes they're hard to tell if they're jokes. What would you prefer? Offensive is fine, less offensive please. This motherfucker did a poll on whether he should be offensive or not. This is what we're dealing with here. I honestly think if he was making better videos right now, his views wouldn't be as low as they are. His content at the moment is unbelievably bad. Like, some much worse than his food videos that he used to make, like food tasting videos. And here's the thing, if Shane was to come back with really good videos now, he's blown that initial impact of coming back with incredibly boring videos. Maybe the aim was to kill off the audience so that you just have the diehards. Everyone's like, yeah, he used to get 15 million plus. Someone said, after Dramageddon 2, I don't feel bad for him. You reap what you sow. Someone said 2018 was his peak. Someone said, I agree with the other comments. It's dropped significantly, but for the content he puts out, which is basically just coupled together half-assed vlogs instead of actual content, his views are kind of impressive. So they're basically saying that for the shit content you're putting out to still get 2 million, good for you. But also, Shane has, oh, he did have like 20 something million, then he's lost it. I'm pretty sure he had like 25 million at one stage. Now he is under 19. Dropped off there. But I also think people are starting to realize his content isn't good at all. His fans are 2 years older now, so everyone's starting to outgrow the clickbaity titles and the horrendous editing of clips that don't have any substance. And I think that is a great point, that the audience is growing up, and YouTubers who refuse to grow up with their audience always struggle. This is very apparent in Liza Koshy style YouTubers, Lily Singh style YouTubers, even the British vloggers who were really popular. They never went out of that vlog style content, even some of them still doing those like challenge videos. People grow up, and you have to grow up with your audience. Anyway, I agree with other commenters that his views are still kind of impressive, especially for someone who's been on YouTube for over a decade and takes months between uploads. He doesn't anymore, so I don't think that's necessarily a valid point, but I do agree that for putting out such half-assed content, which I can relate, you're still getting, you know, a decent amount of people. If he was getting 4K views, then yeah, that would be pretty shit, lol. However, but that's also not, like, comparable. If he has 20 million subscribers and he's barely pulling 2 million, that ratio is awful. Awful. Oh, so New York, awful. Coffee. I'm really bad at it. However, the cancellation has damaged his reputation forever, and I really doubt that he'll ever be able to recover from this. He'll never be able to find much work outside of YouTube or collaborate with anyone besides people like Jeffree Star or his family. He's past his prime and will be stuck in a little bubble trying to revive 2018. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that views aren't everything. So even though Shane gets 2 million on a video, that doesn't mean he's doing well. Like when I think of Garrett Watts, even though he gets less views than Shane, in the past 4 months he's hosted the Matrix premiere and interviewed the whole cast, went to the West Side Story premiere and met Steven Spielberg, went to the Garrett went to the Grammys? Damn. And he's gonna be a voice actor in a video game that comes out in a few weeks. Damn, Garrett is booked and busy. So views in YouTube aren't everything, and I would much rather live Garrett's life than Shane's. But the thing is, on the Shane Jeffree series, they made such a big thing about Jeffree says if my palette doesn't get 1 million likes, it's gonna flop. They were very materialistic by using their viewers as just numbers. Kind of going on the conversation we had at the start of the video. It's actually really topical. I had that, where it's like, if you look at your audience, like, say even 15 people, that's 15 people. Or if you're like, oh, that's like 15 people who've like taken the time out of their day to like watch your video. And that gets even more insane whenever you're like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 1 million, 2 million. They never valued that, and they just threw those numbers around as a way of making money, and I think that came back to bite them in the ass. And do I think it was deserved? Absolutely. Definitely, I'm sure Shane is still making bank, but without sponsorships, collaborations, and other opportunities, it's very difficult to stay relevant. His book was pulled from Target, and the Conspiracy Palette is always on sale. Remember, what was that guy's name that got Shane's book removed from Target? What was that drama channel called? Do you know who I'm talking about? The one who, like, called up Target and also said that Shane was in, like, jail or a police report or an investigation or something. Something Sanders. Kennedy Sanders. Sanders Kennedy. Sanders Kennedy. Sanders Kennedy. Blast from the past. But sadly, if people like Keemstar have survived this long on YouTube, I think Shane can do it too. He has a lot of blind fans. Yeah, he has younger fans, and again, in 2 years, they'll grow up. Did he post all that? I stopped watching his channel because his videos are so fucking stupid. And then everyone's saying about Garrett, me over here trying to get 1,000 views. It's still impressive. His dedicated following is impressive. That multiple platforms merch, that it's not just bad that he's having a small drop in views. And again, that is no problem. But he has literally talked about his viewers as numbers before. So let's hit him back with that same energy. Alright, I think the problem is Shane is refusing to grow up since his earlier videos. He could create really good content if he wanted to, but his videos are so below average these days. This is such a popular opinion here that just, even if you like Shane, don't like Shane, there's like fans on here, the videos are just so low effort or so below average. I miss the Ghost Trip videos from way back then. It's probably also because his content isn't good. It's honestly boring as fuck for me to watch it. I have limited free time and I don't want to waste it watching him talk about pointless shit and be dramatic for 20 plus minutes. This is exactly why I think cancellation doesn't exist in any meaningful way. To the vast majority of YouTubers, 2 million views is huge. Yes, it's less than what he used to get. I mean, not less, it's like 50, 60 million views, 2 million. But it's still more than almost everyone gets on the platform. He's actively moving on without any kind of apology or explanation, and at least 2 million of those people are here for it. That's not cancelled. I think those will drop though. He's not getting any new viewers and will never be able to do collabs again, as no other YouTuber will want their reputation affected by his. Those 2 million viewers, some will hate watch, as we've seen people are posting on here about it, but some are genuine fans. But they will get bored and tired of him as months pass with no uploads or bad uploads. He was never going to return with just 4 viewers. Given that 2 million is a significant drop, it will only start to decrease from here even more. And then someone said, I just read a bunch of comments from new viewers in his latest video and on his community post. People didn't know that he used to have a podcast. All their pictures were young. Trisha Paytas has a lot of new fans on TikTok that hear about her past and don't really care about anything else. I think if you weren't around for the controversy, it doesn't hit as hard. That's why the video compilations work every few years to cancel someone for the same thing. But I don't think he's cancelled. But he needs to put out better content if he wants to keep it above 1 million. So now we're saying that him getting above 1 million is good, considering he has 20 times the amount of subscribers. Jeffree Star, though, are embarrassing numbers for someone who used to get 20 million views. People are tired of him. I would say the same for both. And then the last post. Before his official cancellation, people were getting annoyed with him. His Jake Paul series was engaging because it caused a wider discussion, but his use of Katie Morton, the really fake therapist, was unethical, and his editing styles and false promises regarding the schedule was annoying. Then he did that series with Jeffree and marketed as The Secrets of the Beauty World, didn't post a single video on time, cut most of the stuff that he put in the trailer, turned it into a glorified ad for his product, and included really uncomfortable scenes such as him and Jeffree crying and hugging in the factory while the minimum wage workers were making their pallets, and talking about making $20 million on their first job while also complaining about being poor. Then he had to go at people on Twitter and sent so many fans after them because they were saying that they were disappointed with his content. Alright, muckers, so I think we've came to a general consensus. Fan of Shane, ex-fan of Shane, hate Shane, don't really have an opinion on him. His content's bad. It's not what it used to be, and so we can't expect the amount of views. So do I think cancel culture worked on him? I think accountability culture worked on him, and I think the rest of his numbers going down isn't because of cancel culture. I think it's because of his own efforts, or lack of. But I want to know your opinion of it. We can talk about it below. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and spending your day with me. I really appreciate it. And let me know what you have to say. And I'll get back to you. Okay, bye. If you comment, by the way, within the next couple hours, I'll respond back to you. And if you watch it whenever I'm posting this, I'm either in the queue for Dua Lipa or Dua Lipa is on stage in front of me. So, slay! Bye.